We here? Yeah. I'm right back at you like I never left, and I'm gonna go this hard to my last breath. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Kanoom, Consul Moon. You already know what you're gonna get when you step in this room. You're now dealing with Kanoom. Yeah, I'm here. And while I'm here, I'm gonna make the information direct and clear because a lot of y'all can't hear it. Yeah. Now, excuse me. Welcome back to Make My Ancestors Great Again. This is another episode of Ancestor Speak. This is Ancestor Speak 16. Um, I've somewhat um, edited the way I was going to do Ancestor Speak. I rethunk it. What I'll do is I'll do one Ancestor Speak per month. Okay. That way I don't have a lot of, I don't want to just have a lot of Ancestors Speak. That'll be 4 a month. But if I did it once a week, and on Thursday, a lot of time I do things with a weekly type of understanding of what we're going to be doing that week, and I stay with it. It's almost like a type of week that I have. Whatever week I'm going to go towards, if it's um, pastors, if it's speaking about scriptures and things like that, I keep like a theme for that week. So I want to kind of stick with that. So I'll do Ancestors Speak on the last Thursday of every month from now on. I think this is the last Thursday of this month, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I'll do it on the last Thursday of every month from now on, Ancestor Speak. So the title states Dr. Ben on Ancestor Speak 16. And Dr. Ben is the world most renowned African when it comes to Egyptology, if you will, archaeology on that same subject, if you will, a foremost scholar. He has masters, PhDs, doctrines, things of that nature under his belt. He used to teach at Hunter College. He even taught and uh, he taught at the Al Azhar University in the Middle East. He taught, I believe, in Egypt. So he taught a lot of different places. He taught in Hunter College as well, I believe, in the States. This man took his first trip to Egypt in 1939. Okay. African man, Dr. Yosef Ben Yakanan. Okay. In 1989, they had a 50-year jubilee from him continuously going there for 50 years, from 39 to 89. In 1989, a lot of people weren't even born at that time. And this man had already put 50 years in archaeology study and things of that nature. What he did was trace the linkage back from our ancestors scattered all across the universe to the origins of the people along the Nile Valley. Okay, that was his life work. So we're going to hear from this man. The lecture is called "Why Do You Believe in God?" And anyone can look at this. It don't matter what religious preference that you follow or come up under. It's just food for thought. So let's listen to the ancestor. Um, these ancestors, we owe them. Well, I do. I pay them that much reverence. I owe them my life for what they did. They fought for people that looked like me for equality. Okay, in 1939, Dr. Ben couldn't even go in different temples because it was only European teachers at the time, and he was an outcast. They would let him study, but from afar. He couldn't go into temples. He couldn't learn and things like that at the same volume in which they learned. So he was getting secondhand information, if you will. It wasn't secondhand. He was there, but it was like the crumbs, if you will. Okay. So the ancestors fought for equality of people that look like me, for freedom of speech, freedom of thought, freedom of actions, any of these type of things. So I always stand with the ancestors and I take my hat off. That's why my channel is named Make My Ancestors Great Again. They never ceased or failed to be great. I just want to continue to um, let their lives show through me the responsibilities that they took. I take them on. Okay. The morality that they had, I try to exude that same morality. The confidence that they had, I'm very confident. Okay. the integrity that they had. I walk a very integral walk. I don't smoke, drink, anything of that nature. Okay. So the ancestors left a nice legacy for me, and I intend on following it and bringing them to the world on my channel anyway. But I'm sure everyone knows them without me. So I'm just doing a drop in a bucket, but I still do it with pride. Let's look at Dr. Ben. I don't own the video. You can find it and watch it wherever you can in its entirety. This is just a small clip. If you feel like you want to do something for me, like and subscribe because it won't cost you a fee. Let's listen to the master teacher.
Village, and you give the people your money or your clothing, and I don't take second-hand clothing. Only the same clothing you will have for yourself. Can these people be given? And still God doesn't have a thing to do with it. Those people were poor and poor and poor and more poor. And see them today. The Egyptian government is using Daboud as a center to carry people from the different colleges, the 5 major colleges, with 5 branches throughout the United States. I mean, Egypt, the biggest college, bigger than anything you got here, University of Cairo, has 149,000 students per day, graduate students, and then in the night they have the graduate students. And God don't, and they get all kind of things for God. God have not shown up once. And thousands of people die each year at the assemblage in Mecca. Some people go there to die. Why God don't save them? They go to die. God never once said to a dying man, don't die, brother. Oh no, things aren't so bad. I could take care of it. I am God. Never yet said it.
All right. That was Dr. Ben. And initially he was talking about taking people to the Nile Valley region, taking them all around for $1,500 for 13 days. He was basically saying it comes out to about $100 a day. You got your hotel fare. He take you around in the Mercedes-Benz bus because he don't plan on making any money because he likes to see the people have fun. So he was saying he was the cheapest fare at that time. Everybody else charged way more. Okay. The humanity that this man spoke with outside of God. See, they think that when you don't have a God, you don't have any more integrity. You don't have any more laws. You don't have any more rules. You don't have any type of thing that the statutes to set yourself to. That's a lie. See, with African culture, there's predates everything that the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, the Tanakh, and all this type of stuff. Everything in Africa predates these little books. Okay. And you always had integrity, morality, laws, rules, statutes. You always had these type of things to carry yourself by. So don't think that when you first got the 10 Commandments, that was the first time law ever stepped into the world. That's not true. Ma'at is older than anything in the Bible. Okay. Ma'at is the emblem or the symbol of justice. An African woman with her wings spread wide open, with a Ethiopian ostrich feather on her headdress. You see, got French braids in her hair. And the scales are balanced with Ma'at. Ma'at also embodies and symbols love, truth, justice, peace, wisdom, reciprocity. It's 7 of them. Right now, I'm not really recalling them off the top of my head. That was 6. And I think love. Okay. So there's always been things that we hold in regard to having law, structure, Okay. In African culture, the first deities was the African woman. You see that? Today, in the major Western religions, the theme of all religions are men. Now, that's a total turnaround, 100% turnaround. They robbed us of what we had fundamentally and spiritually. This is like the question, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Okay, that's silliness. That's like saying what came first, the man or the woman? No, please, that's ridiculous. And for the people that say Adam and Eve and Adam went to sleep and they ripped Eve out his chest, you're a damn fool. The Bible was damn fool. The Bible, whoever wrote that in the Bible is a damn fool, and you're a damn fool for believing it. You can't have no Adam without a woman. You see? And you cannot have no egg without a chicken. So that's ridiculous. Who would somebody just sat there and just put an egg there? You need the chicken to lay the egg. So, but when it comes to that in regards, you will never know the first human being in human history. That's the mystery of mankind. You will never know the first day, what happened on the first day of this planet. Now, I don't care how much money or education you have. That's the mystery of mankind. You will never know where you go when you die. That's the mystery of mankind. But since they have a little book here for human beings with little mental value, okay, little brain function, they tell you everything that you want to know. You say, oh, how the world gonna end? Go to Revelation. That's silliness. That's the mystery of mankind. You will never know how the world is going to end. Okay. So back to what I was saying, the European flipped over everything we had. The African woman was the deity. That's quite natural. Your mother is the one that birthed you. Yes, your father, he helped, but he don't have any provision to bring forth life singularly. The woman doesn't either, but the woman is the incubator. So if anyone is going to be more God-like out of the two, it would be the woman. The woman can nurture and sustain a child. The man can walk away and go father a child with another woman, leaving behind all responsibilities if he chooses to. But what did the European do in the Western world with his Western European mind? He flipped it over. He said, the man is the end all be all. Worship me. I'm your God. I'm your deity. And to kick women out of the whole story, a man gave the first birth. You see, Adam gave the first birth in human history when God put him to sleep and ripped a baby, which was a grown lady named Eve, out his rib and fashioned a woman. This is silly, ridiculous, okay, for anybody who's thinking. But since you don't think, you unscrew your brain at the door and then you pick the religion you want. That's the way they continue to go on and further this silliness. Okay. So Dr. Ben was saying all these things, and God has never did nothing. He's never showed up, not once. This man lived almost to 100 years old. I believe he died at 98. He died in 2015 and he was born in 1917, if I'm not mistaken. This man lived for 100 years. The last however many years, maybe 60, 70 years of his life, he lived it without God. And he still had more integrity than a lot of these people. Speaking about his fares and stuff, the people today that take you to Egypt, they charge $15,000 and $20,000 and $30,000 per trip because they want to get rich. They don't have nowhere near the intelligence, the background that this man had, the resume, and they getting $15,000 and $20,000 per trip for 10 or 15 days. So this man had more integrity than a lot of people that deal with God. And I love this man. I take my hat off to him. Rest in peace to Dr. Yosef Ben Yakanan, the master teacher, the vizier. This man was something else. I take my hat off to him. I'm forever in debt to him. And may his soul rest and his spirit continue to be lifted to the ancestors. Rest in peace, Dr. Ben. That's my thoughts on the video. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Kanoon, Consul Moon. You already know what you're going to get when you step in this room. You're now dealing with Kanoon. This is what I do, and I love to do it. And before I take back what I said, I ask them on to it. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and I thank you for watching. And if you feel like you want to do something for me, like and subscribe because it won't cost you a fee. Education and preparation is the first step to retaliation. So before you pick up a weapon or a silly religion, pick up some knowledge. Okay? If anybody was offended by anything you heard, I mean every word. Yeah. See y'all tomorrow.